Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a beautiful sunny summer's day here in Moscow. And I'm going to show you an apartment. Actually, it's in the building right behind me. We're going to go check it out. This is actually the apartment complex that I want to go to, and luckily for us, we only need to go to the second floor. The entrance is right across the way there, and this is a little bit of an older complex. However, the apartment is completely remodeled and brand new. There is a nice play area right here for the kids, sand pit, and have a look across the way there. Anybody knows Atlantis Hotel? The actual micro district here has an apartment with the floating bridge across and some of the other buildings. Now in the ground floor here, there are some shops, some businesses, actually a beauty salon, a small mini market, and pretty much all of the buildings nearby have businesses in. It is really sunny today. It's actually a beautiful Moscow summer's day. And if you're not sure who I am, I'm an Australian who lives here in the Moscow region. I actually live on the other side of Moscow from this district. However, it's nice and easy to come here by metro. And I make videos about everyday life. I make lots of apartment tours, supermarket tours. I like to go to parks. So if you like that sort of thing, check out some of the other videos on the channel. It's probably hard to show it on the video. There is plenty of parking here right by the building. Actually, all the way around where this area is, there's street parking. Looks like someone's just getting a food delivery, which is very common here in Russia. We need to go in this door right here. Pretty sure someone else is getting a delivery right there. And let's go check this apartment out. Coming inside now, if you are the owner, you would actually have a key fob, or if you want to call up to the apartment, there is a keypad right there. And then the door can be opened remotely from inside the apartment. And then we just need to walk in. Some nice paintings right here. There is also a concierge, so there's somebody here always if perhaps you want to get a delivery or something like that. And we just need to walk around to the elevator. We've only got to go up to the second floor, so it's nice and easy. Coming out on the second floor. Now I probably could have took the stairs, and they're actually right behind me, the fire escape stairs. However, the elevator, no problems. These are the electric boxes for the apartments on this floor. And then we need to go over here, and the apartment right here. Just to make it a little bit easier, I've got the door unlocked, and of course the keys are right here, being that it's brand new. It also is a bit echoey in the corridor here. Now this is what I would call a studio, or a one single room apartment. And this is very interesting because you've got that very nice view out across to the pond right there, which I talked about at the beginning. And everything is here, literally in the one room. Now, in Australia, I'm pretty sure they also call these a bedsit. I'm not sure if it's called something different around the world. So as you come in, light switch, power socket there if you want to plug the vacuum in. This is your electric breaker, so your power essentially. And then, not to make everybody dizzy, place to put your shoes, hang your coats, put whatever you like on top. And then you've got some storage right here. Now this is brand new, so literally the screws and everything is still there. Storage, whatever you need. So this was literally completed a couple of days ago, and some cleaners have been in The keys will actually get handed over now to the real estate agent for it to be listed for sale. And yeah, it's exactly how you see it. The bathroom on this side, so tiled floor. So with smaller studio apartments, you're not going to get a bath. It's going to be a shower. So pretty straightforward. Also washing machine. And then to save space, what they quite often do in Russia is they put the sink over the top, so all the plumbing is behind there. There's a plug there for shaving. The mirror, and that's actually a cupboard at the same time. There is a heated towel rail. And then you've also got a hot water system. Now, of course, like anywhere in the world, you've got hot and cold water. In Russia, because they're using central heating and there's a boiler house nearby, for about 2 weeks of the year, across the entire Russian Federation, they switch off the hot water to service the boiler house. And you won't have hot water for generally 2 weeks, sometimes 10 days. So it's always nice to have a backup. Now, you'd only use this a couple of weeks a year, but it's there for you if you need it. And if you live in Russia, you understand. If not, it might be something new. The fridge right there. And then pretty standard drawers, cupboards. There is a cooktop right there. You only need 2 burners. You don't need anything more than that. Dish rack, microwave. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. Now the sofa here is pretty cool because you can move the table and chairs out the way and you can end up with some more sleeping space. So if you have friends over, perfect. Table and chairs. Now, being that this is fully furnished, exactly what you see is what you're renting. And everything is included right down to the sheets. So you've got a nice big queen bed, bedside table. And then this view out the window, also air conditioning as well, central heating. So this will come on in winter time. Obviously in summer, it's not necessary. It's completely switched off. The keys are there, ready for the real estate agent. And then this view. Now, being that we're on the 2nd floor, in a lot of buildings, particularly older ones, now this is only 20 years old, they have some bars on the windows. And I, for the life of me, don't understand why, because it's not necessary. And I wonder if these could be removed, actually. It would be even nicer, the view out the window. And if you have a look across, there's a pond, somebody walking their dog, there's a few people over there. And of course, you've got the modern Moscow apartments also on the other side. And then the metro is right by these apartments as well. And then the actual windows themselves, they're triple glazed windows. Actually, when I close the door there, you can't really hear any sound at all. And what do you think? Now, it feels a lot more spacious than a lot of 20 square meter apartments. And just the way it's been laid out, I think there is TV right there, some extra sockets if you've got PlayStation or something like that. This might be interesting just to see how thick the walls are. And I point this out in a lot of the older buildings where I do videos. So you've got the internal wall, and then you've got also the exposed external brick wall. And that's 1 meter thick. And that's what keeps these apartments so warm and the temperature very nicely controlled year round. Lots of lighting. Everything you need in a classic studio apartment. And of course, this is an older building. However, the finish on this is absolutely brand new. And I'm even walking around in my socks just to be polite to the cleaners who have just been in here. That's of course the remote there for the air conditioning. Yeah. Could you live here? Now, I think personally, for a person living alone, absolutely beautiful. For a couple, or a young couple also. I mean, you can walk less than 10 minutes to the metro and you can head on into Moscow from here. What do you think, everybody? Could you live here? Okay, everybody, it's actually quite a few days later and I probably look a little bit different. I'm at home now. It's a little bit easier to go through all the information about the apartment that we saw, and it makes it a bit easier. Also, I'll have the information up on the screen here so you can follow along with what I'm talking about. So the apartment that I saw, now, it was brand new, renovated, move-in ready, fully furnished. It was considered what's called a studio apartment. Now, depending on how you word it, it's not a one-bedroom apartment because it's basically one room, and then the bathroom was separate. It was on the second floor of the building, and from the window you could see across to the pond, and nice and easy to get to. Even if you didn't want to take the elevator, you've only got a couple of flights of stairs to get up there. So very easy to walk in and get to your apartment. 30 square meters was the space of the apartment in total. That actually includes the entrance and then the bathroom as well, but a nice, spacious studio. You can get them much smaller in Russia. Anything more than 30 square meters ends up being a one-room apartment where they'd actually separate the bedroom off. So, you know, for someone to live alone, or perhaps a young couple, or somebody that's wanting to move out of home, I think it's ideal. The fact that it's brand new as well, you know, you'd be the first person to live there. 7 minutes walk to Kotelniki metro station, or Kotelniki, if you want to put it that way. It is literally just across the road and a few minutes walk, and you're in the Moscow metro. You can then go to anywhere you like from there. It's a well-known metro station. There is other apartment buildings around. There is plenty of little shops, businesses, cafes. Everything's within walking distance. The local school is nearby as well. The actual building itself was built in 2014. However, the apartment was completely remodeled and renovated for the sake of it now being available as a rental. It's quite a popular thing for people to buy apartments, renovate them, and then rent them out, also as an investment as well. So all the information right here. The price of the rent, now, if you were to rent it as it is, of course it's fully furnished, move-in ready. You just get a set of keys and you move in. 50,000 rubles per month, which would work out $615 per month, 530 euros, 461 British pounds, 860 Canadian dollars, and then in Australian currency, $944. So that's per calendar month that you'd pay the rent. The only things you would pay additional if you were to move in as a rental would be for water, electricity, and then internet if you want to connect it. Generally in Russia, when you rent a property, you're paying metered rates. So how much water and electricity you use is what you're paying per month. In a smaller studio like that, it would be very reasonable. I would say around about $30 a month, give or take, in US currency is what you're paying for water and electricity usage. Even if you use lots of water and lots of electricity, the price wouldn't go up or down a whole lot. Internet would be around about $5 to $8 per month for you to have unlimited Wi-Fi that you could connect your TV to. So yeah, very nice apartment. If you like that studio size and the fact that it's brand new, renovated and ready to move into. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and you like these types of tours that I do in Russian typical apartments. Now that was an older building, of course, and they're very common across all of the Russian Federation. Obviously, I do a lot of videos in Moscow and Moscow region because that's where I live, and that's the access I can get to some apartments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, post a comment, and then if you want to follow me on Telegram, the link to my channel is right here. It's very easy if you want to join me in the chat on Telegram. And if you want to watch an old video on the channel, one will come up right now, another apartment tour. Check this out and you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.